Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are the Real Short Box Live Edition. Donald's taking a little holiday. I'm the Grinch. And I'm here with a whole host of other podcasters that would love to talk about Christmas horror. It's going to be delightful. Now, I'm going to do a few naughty things in the background here. And Kevin will do the introduction, or Kevin will pay the price. Take it away, Kevin.
Well, I'm not afraid of any Grinch. Please, get out of here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, happy holidays to all of you fine people in the 24 time zones on planet Earth. Welcome to the most powerful, most jubilant, and most entertaining show on YouTube, the Real Short Box Live Stream. First, let us begin with the co-host, executive producer, and co-founder of the Real Short Box Show. He is from the great state of Ohio. He is Bruce Campbell's #2 fan. He is DC Comics for life. And if you have a problem with it, he might just pop you in the mouth. He was the 2000 Kent State University's Mr. Beefcake. And he currently weighs in at a strong 11 stones. He was also voted the 2019 second best man of North Hollywood, California. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is always socially lubricated. He walks like a duck. He talks like a duck. He is the original dog.
Oh, no, it's not him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's give props to the Grinch. Yes, the Grinch is a classical character. We love you, sir. But we're going to move on to a fine lady who is also from the great state of Ohio. She is from that spectacular and splendid city of Cincinnati. She is a talented actress and artist. It was just newly crowned the 2022 Downtown Los Angeles Cubana of the Year. She is the Duchess of many of your hearts. She is one of the great Geminis today in the United States of America. She is a wonderful friend of the show, and we love having her here one last time for this final show of 2022. Give it up for the jubilant and jazzy Janet Big Money Lee. Roll the Lee. Yeah.
Oh, wow, we got our studio audience.
Yes, we do. And last, and certainly not least, a gentleman who has been a kind and wonderful, humble co-host, who has now, for the sixth and final time for the year, has co-hosted this podcast over the last 2 months. He is a man also from the great state of Ohio. It is Buckeye night tonight, is it not? He is the man who has brought back masculinity to professional wrestling. He is a man who lives a life of piety and righteousness. A man who is one of the top 10 great promoters of wrestling in the Midwestern United States. He is a master technician of wrestling submission holds. He weighs in at a lean, mean, clean, and cut 230 pounds of muscle, or in British terms, 15 stones. He is the man who lays down the law in the ring. He is the Archbishop of Pain. And if you cross him, he just might send you to the ICU. Please give him a warm welcome to the man who I call the Ohio Wrecking Machine and co-host of the Horror Guys on YouTube. He is John Captain Lee.
I have to say, I'm super starstruck with the Grinch being up there. He's got his new movie out. The Mean One is doing really good.
That's
I'm
true.
looking forward to seeing it. He was giving some thumb down during that whole introduction, though. I saw that.
Well, the Grinch is a player hater, so we don't worry about the Grinch being a player
He's
hater.
kind of started some shit with you in the ring.
I know. Shame. You know what? maybe we should do a handicap match between you and I, John, against the Grinch. I think we can do pretty good.
You know what? I have been known to don the Santa suit a few times, and I have kind of competed in the ring as Santa. We might have to do Santa versus the Grinch.
And I'll dress up as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'll dress up as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'll do that.
We'll get Janet in there dressed as an elf. Wow, a whole damn match. Wow.
And she can manage us too, you know?
Exactly.
Because I am the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan arts, your Supreme Chancellor, Dr. Kevin. And we are going to have fun tonight with the Grinch, with John and Janet. We are ranking the top 12 Christmas horror movies to end this wonderful, well, somewhat wonderful year of 2022. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some of these horror movies you never heard of before. Some of them you're quite familiar with. And the Grinch, of course, he is wicked. He is devious. And I know he is planning something very duplicitous this evening.
I bet. You can see it.
Indeed I am. I just want to give a quick shout out, though, to Donald's mother and father.
Hello, Mama and Papa McKinney.
How does the Grinch know that?
I hope you find coal in your stockings for Christmas.
Ouch.
That's messed up. That's messed up.
I mean, he's like Santa. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when to come to your house to steal your tree and your presents.
He knows if you've been naughty or nice.
Right? Well, everyone's been naughty in his eyes, so I mean, that's kind of like the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to steal everything. Trust me.
He wasn't quite horrific enough, though, to make it on our list.
That's true. Maybe that's why he's upset. Maybe that's why he's upset, because he didn't make the list.
I don't think enough of us have seen the new movie, though, yet, because it's kind of like playing in like limited theaters. It hasn't really come out yet, so maybe by next year, that could make the top 10 list.
The Grinch.
Well, he doesn't care.
That's
He
true.
wants you to watch it now.
That's true. I wish I could. We don't get it around here, unfortunately. It was supposed to stream for free somewhere, but I guess they changed that because I guess it's doing pretty good in the theater. So
That's true. Now, if we could find some illegal access through a VPN to watch this movie, yeah, maybe we.
Oh, wow. Donald has shown up.
Hey
There he
guys.
is.
Were you kidnapped by the Grinch?
Yeah, well, I had like I was walking down the street and somebody covered like a sack over my head and grabbed me.
Was
And
it the bicycle thief of North
I
Hollywood?
found myself, oddly enough, in the back of a sleigh with
Oh.
like a really dumb-looking tiny dog, like rat thing. And so I was able to get loose, and I was half dressed in this dumb. I guess it's nice enough. I don't know why I'm dressed in it, but I was put in this. So, hey, I thought I'd make it up here and just in time for the podcast. So sorry, I'm a little late, guys, but
it's okay.
you know we
Good to have you
should.
Your parents said that the Grinch was in the basement. Is in the basement.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, technically, if you had a basement, I don't have one here, so I don't know.
He didn't take your turtle card, did he? You better check.
Hello, Frank in Miami.
It's still back there.
Oof, he said he was stealing everything, so I just wanted you to make sure.
Yeah, no,
He
thank
would
you.
have been good at talking on this show with the horror and the Christmas.
That's true. He would have been.
Well, I want to ask you guys, would Misery have made this list?
No.
Hmm.
I don't
Too
think so.
much on the horror side?
No,
rather
no,
than the
it's not because it's because it's more of a thriller, I would say, than it is a true horror film.
horror. Okay.
Yeah,
I just
so-
like that they sing, what's it, the little drummer boy? I always think of that movie whenever that song comes on.
Well, rum bum bum bum.
Yes.
That's the sound your ankles make when they get smacked together.
Yes.
It's true. It's
That's
true.
Every
pain-
time that song comes on, I think of Misery.
It's quite painful, yes.
Yeah.
Quite painful.
Especially in the middle of the ring, if it happens.
So,
You know.
Kevin, we're doing we're ranking holiday horror, right? Like that's what we're
Yes.
doing.
For 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of horror.
This is great, guys. I'm super stoked about this. It's something we've been wanting to do for a long time. We were supposed to originally have like a whole bunch of elves here. I had reached out to Krampus, and I said, "Hey, can we get some of those dark elves?" And he was like, "What are you gonna do with them?" And I was like, "Spread Christmas cheer." And he was super happy about that. And he was like, yeah, sure. But then, not more than like, I would say a couple days ago, he reached out and he said, unfortunately, there's too many naughty people, and he was going to need every little elf he could get to help him, like, take care of business. And therefore, Kevin and I was like, oh man, we have to reach out to John and Janet, J&J, and get them back on. Particularly because Janet's so good at what she does here, which is spreading Christmas cheer. And
Yay! Merry
John
Christmas.
is a horror aficionado, so we had to have him to talk about some of these, because I'm going to be real with you, some of them I haven't even seen. And I know, that's terrible of me. It's terrible.
There are many that I haven't
I've
seen,
seen
but
most.
I saw the trailers to all of them. So
Right. I've seen most of them, but there's like one or two that I have not. So I was like, man, Kevin knows his stuff. John knows his stuff. Janet and I would say, are probably on the same level. We know some, but not like everything. So it's going to be a learning experience for us as well. So this is cool. This is exciting. Almost as exciting as our sponsors, Half's Hot Sauce and Splattered Frog Brewing. Now, if you go to halfshotsauce.com and type in the coupon code Donald Hiccups, you will save 10% off your order right now, and you may still be able to get it in time for Christmas. In fact, you probably can get it in time for Christmas. You can get a holiday pack. They put like 3 or 4, I think it's 4 bottles in a nice little box, and they mail it to you, and you can give that as a lovely gift. They have Sugar Rush Peach, Trippy Pickle, Main Squeeze, which is a watermelon rhubarb. They have more Cowbell, which is a hot mustard seed-based hot sauce, and it is spicy. That's a spicy meatball. They have Indigo Fire, which is a blueberry hot sauce. They have the Old Razzle Dazzle, which is a raspberry hot sauce. And I believe now they have Basic Bitch, which is just a basic hot sauce that you can get, kind of like which you would get like a Tapatio or whatever like that, which is great. So check them out. What's that, John?
That's the best name ever for hot sauce. Basic Bitch.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when he came up with it, I was like, okay. I thought about it for a second. I was like, yeah, okay, that'll work.
It's got to be a top seller. It's got to be.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. I think they just came out with it not long ago, so I don't know if they have the numbers yet, but I'm sure for the holiday season, it's probably really well. Or does really well. Hey, Jed, thanks for joining. Frank, thanks for joining as well. Maria, of course, Mom and Dad, I want to thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't be on earlier. Thankfully, I'm fine. I want to also mention really quickly, you go to splatteredfrog.com, type in coupon code SHORTBOX, and save 20% off your order. Should be able to get that in time for Christmas as well. They sell hats, really fun hats. They sell koozies for your beer. They sell pint glasses. They sell T-shirts, etc., etc., etc. They are a nano brewery, so they're working on distribution and stuff. So every bit that you pour into them, especially this holiday season, will be very helpful. And one more quick shout out. I am drinking another beer. I know, I'm sorry, Splattered Frog. But this is from McLeod Ale. This is in Van Nuys, California. And I'm having the Cutting Bracken Brown Ale. It's a Scottish brewery, and they are in a little bit of trouble. They are suffering financially due to COVID and trying to recover. But unfortunately, it's not going well for them, which is why I am drinking this and mentioning this beer right now. So if you are in the area, in the LA area, stop by Van Nuys, California, go to McLeod's Brewery, and tell them that the Real Short Box sent you and that you would like to purchase a pint.
They have really good beer. That chocolate one that you had was really good.
Yes, they have a really good chocolate one. They have one called Cuppa,
Stout.
which is an Earl Grey infused beer. It's insane, I know, but it's actually really good. They have a wonderful pizza selection. You can get some really good pizzas. They've got desserts. They've got pickled eggs and all that fun stuff, as well as a whole host of, for now, canned beers. They're going to be letting go of their canned beer section. I think they're selling their cannery and all that in order to keep themselves afloat. So just go in, have a pint, enjoy, and enjoy yourself.
And you might get to hear a drunk guy shatter a bunch of glasses all at once for fun, like we did.
Yes, accidentally push a door open a little too far. Director of the Multiverse. What's up, dude? Thanks for joining. Good to see you again on here. Always a pleasure. We're going to get started. This is going to, I think, go pretty fast. So we'll probably wrap this up in about an hour from now, I would say. So those of you turning in, if you're wondering how long is this going to take, not that long. It should be pretty
2 hours.
Quick.
We'll be done by 10 o'clock, 10:30.
Kevin really wants to milk this thing. So.
I'm excited to see who in the audience has seen these films too.
Right?
That'll be interesting.
Yes. And I also want to know what is your favorite Christmas horror or holiday horror film. So if you want to throw that in the chat, we'd be happy to talk about that. If it is not on our list, we could discuss it and see where we would have put it on the list, or if we've seen it, what we think of it, etc., etc., etc. Alex, thanks for joining, buddy. You missed earlier. Thankfully, the Grinch left, so I am safe for now. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm safe for now, thankfully. Director says, I know it doesn't count as a Christmas horror movie, but it's Scream. Yeah, Scream's a great horror film. I feel like Scream did do something around Christmas time, right?
Oh, yeah, released in December, he was saying.
Yeah, something like that, yep. Oh, yeah, the first two were released in December, that's right. Yes, Scream is a great film. Definitely. I mean, it's a franchise that's not really going to die anytime soon, I feel.
Nope, Scream 6 is coming out in March.
Yep. It would be great to create a horror franchise like that. I have some ideas. I started a script. It's John, I'll tell you about it a little later. It's amazing.
I'm ready to hear about it.
It's going to be so much fun. Like, if I can get it off the ground, we'll see. I just have to...
John can help us get John can help you get funding for it.
We'll see. The Grinch. Well, Alex, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I got kidnapped and then thankfully was able to break away, and now I'm here. So I don't know if he's going to return. I just got to keep my eyes out and make sure that I'm okay. So that's all that we can hope for. Ultraman Magnus says, is Krampus any good? The movie Krampus? Yeah, dude. It's great. I'm gonna be real with you. It does make the list. So it is good. It's a solid, fun film. It has a tinge of good horror and a nice mix of humor. The effects are done super well. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Director says, Director of the Multiverse, I'm just going to call you Director, says, I wonder what the stupid motive is going to be in Scream 6. Oh, I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be dumb.
Actually, I have some theories that would actually make sense, but can't talk about that right now.
Frank says, Gremlins gets my vote for the greatest Christmas film of all time. And was it Chris? No, Chris. Oh. Chris, unfortunately, is still not with us. He is looking at making his triumphant return in January when we come back.
Along with Jared.
Because this is our final episode of the year, guys. So, we want to spend some time with our family and loved ones and stuff. And some of us want to go overseas and drink a lot of beer. So, this is going to be the final... Yes, it's John. This is going to be the final podcast of the year, live podcast for us. And actually, our last audio podcast of the year is going to be this week also. We took last week off. So we have one more for this week, and then that's going to be it until next year. And we will be back, and there's going to be a little surprise. The Real Short Box Live edition is closing down.
We'll miss you too, Alex.
We are going to be over with. There will be no more Real Short Box Live show. So there's that.
But you are going to have the audio version, like an audio book.
Right. The audio version will still carry on. The good news is that there will be another live show. It's just not going to be the Real Short Box. So get your thinking caps on for that one. So there is some stuff in the works.
It's like, no.
Gerald says, I've got to give it to the Gremlins too. That's good. Alex says, Krampus is also a good Image comic written by a buddy of mine, Brian Jones. I can't tell. Jed wants you to share some theories, Kevin, when you get some time.
Sure.
We could do that a little bit later once we wrap up this, Jed. No problem. We're happy to do it. Alex, it'll be okay. Trust me, buddy. Director says, I'll be at my brother's on Christmas Eve. That's awesome, dude. Have fun, man. Kind of wish I had a brother. I don't have a brother. Never did. I have two older sisters. It's just not the same. I'd roughhouse at them, and then they go tell on me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not quite the same. You really want to see the mean one? Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Actually, I worked on a web series called Lone Wolf McQuade. McQuade or McQuay? McCrae. Lone Wolf McCrae. And it was starring, let's see, it was me, and it was Darren, and also this other young lady, Crystal. And she is really heavy into doing stunts. Like, she became a stunt worker. And she's actually in the mean one. She plays a pivotal role in that. So it'll be exciting to see her on the big screen. Let's see. Director says, I got 4 of them, Donald. 2 of them are idiots. 2 are just always serious. Oh, director, man, that's a lot of brothers. That's a lot of brothers. Holy crap! I just wanted 1. I don't need 4. I'm good with 1, man. Alex says Christmas movie shout out. Feast of the Seven Fishes came out in 2019. Amazing Italian-American Christmas movie set in 1983. Alex, I think you mentioned that like last year or something, and I said I was going to watch it and then completely forgot about it. So I'm going to try to remember it. It's free on Tubi, he says. Maybe I'll sit down and watch it tonight if I get some time while I'm packing and stuff. I could do that. So let's get started, though.
Too, Yay.
Everybody ready to get started?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to pull up the first one here. Now, number 12 of our Christmas horror. Let me just shrink this down. I didn't get time to shrink any of them ahead of time, so we're going to be doing this all night. Sorry, guys. But this one is a particularly spooky entry into this. At number 12 for the 12 days of Christmas horror is going to be The Lodge. Now, has anybody besides me seen this?
I don't think I have.
The trailer looks really cool, and you can tell that it was really well shot. Good cinematography. It looks really scary. It looks really good. Like dramatic and well done. It's not a B or C movie like some of these other ones. You gonna give us the synopsis, Donald?
Yes, I could do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've never seen this one. I know the name, but I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, so The Lodge. Now, I saw it about a year ago. But the basic synopsis is about, it's like during a family retreat to like a remote cabin, kind of frozen lake scenario over the holidays, of course. A father and his kids and his new girlfriend go to this cabin in the woods at this retreat, and the father then has to leave for a work thing, and so he takes the car, which basically, if I recall, it leaves them carless, and it leaves her with the 2 kids, the girlfriend is isolated. She feels alone. A blizzard hits. It traps them all inside the lodge. And then terrifying things start to happen. It summons like these ghosts and spirits. Grace has a real dark past. She used to be Grace is the girlfriend. She used to be part of a cult. Yeah, and she's broke away from that. And she's trying to heal from that. And she's there with these kids that are either darling little sweethearts, and there is a demonic spirit in the home, or they're little shits that are trying to drive her insane. What I think
is, though, right, Donald, because just from the preview, she was in a suicide cult, and the dead family members are after her as ghosts.
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah. And we don't know if she's having a mental breakdown, or if the kids are effing with her, or if there actually are these demonic spirits of her past coming back to haunt her.
Also, those kids' mom died, right? So she could be after them because she's jealous.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to this, and they start to unfold as you go through this film. It's very dark and dreary. There's not much humor or laughter to it, but it is intriguing. It is spooky. It is fun. So it's probably I wouldn't say the least known on this list, but probably one of the least known on this list. It came out in 2019. It was released in January of that year. And let's see, who was the director? It was two directors, if I recall. It was Veronica and Severin, or Severin were the two directors of the film. So it does have some plot twists and turns. It's good. Alex says, "Oh, this movie sounds cool, solid." Director says, "I'm looking at the cast. Right, Jaden Martell from It and Knives Out. Exactly. It's on Hulu. Maybe I'll give it a watch. There you go, buddy. Twists. It's all in Grace's mentally unstable mind, possibly, or if it's not." Elvin popped in. Thanks for joining, Elvin. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey.
He says, "Interesting. I'll add it to the list to watch." It's on Hulu, by the way. Yes, it's on Hulu. I see it here. It's actually on Hulu. You can watch it, I believe, for free on Hulu. Or if you don't have Hulu, you can pay for it on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple TV as well. It is available, and I think from $3.99 on up. So keep that in mind.
So, Donald, this
yeah.
is the lowest on the list then, ranking.
Yes, this is number 12 on the list. Yeah, so we're counting up. So we're going to go to number 11 after that. So The Lodge is the I would say the least creepiest of the two, or of the 12. So it's really good. It's really solid. I recommend it if you get time to watch it. It's just a slow burn. Keep that in mind. It is a bit of a slow burn, but it's very atmospheric, very moody. It does give you that Christmas feeling because of the snow and the cold and things like that, but there's also this creep factor to it. So you're like on the edge of your seat most of the time. So make a hot cup of cocoa, sit down, get some cookies, and enjoy. So that is The Lodge. It sits at number 12 on the list. Now, number 11 is one that I've seen bits and pieces. I've never seen the whole thing all the way through, any of them. And I would probably say the same for Janet. She's probably in the same boat as I am. But, you know, when you see this image pop up on the screen, I believe Kevin has it behind him as well. A snowman driving a car. You can't go wrong. It just looks like a lot of fun. Number 11 on the list is Jack Frost. And it's starring Michael Keaton.
Not to be confused with the Michael Keaton Jack Frost.
Oh, not that one.
No,
So,
Michael Keaton's movie had a little more budget to it.
Also, John, have you seen this creepy Jack Frost with this goblin guy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you can talk about it too.
I love that. Like, I love these movies because they're all, okay, first of all, they're off the wall, cheesy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
They're not for everybody. But you got to think about this. We have a snowman that is killing people and talking shit at the same time. You can't go wrong.
No.
Who is this goblin guy? Was I watching the wrong
I think you were.
of Jack Frost?
Yeah, there's a newer one that came out,
That's the newer
think,
one.
this year called Jack Frost. Yeah, there's a couple different movies.
Because he looks like he's from Legend, you know, from the 80s.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I think that came out a little bit earlier this year. I know exactly
So
what
no
you're talking
wonder I was confused by that image because I never saw the preview for this one with the snowman. But they made it look just like the other Jack Frost with Michael Keaton, the family-friendly one.
Semi, yeah. I mean, this definitely is a Michael Keaton, though, for sure. They get confused. I know, like they used to say back in the day, people used to switch the tapes in the VHS. So you'd rent Jack Frost thinking you were about to watch this nice, wholesome movie, and it was the other Jack Frost, and you were like mortified for life.
Giving kids nightmares.
Right,
You
exactly.
thought your kids could watch it with you?
Mm-mm.
There's a very interesting scene with Shannon Elizabeth. You remember that one, Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the shower. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's just say he used his carrot for something that he probably shouldn't. But we're gonna leave that go.
Yeah, very inappropriate.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
inappropriate.
We've got some comments here. Alex says, I had a very bad hangover when I saw Jack Frost. I couldn't even finish it. LOL, that's my memory of it. Director says, Jack Frost, I would love to see Dead Meat do a kill count on this. And Maria says, the Jack Frost that came out this year is not so great. I think the official name is Curse of Jack Frost. But she loves this version of Jack Frost. Alex Banquita says, a bottle of vodka and a 40 was my prequel to Jack Frost. Wow. Alex, man, you went
We
hard.
won't be able to finish it if we're hungover. Good point.
Yeah.
So basically, your whole plot for this whole thing is you have this guy who is a serial killer who's about to. They're transporting him, kind of a la Michael Myers type of thing, you know. Although it's Christmas time and not Halloween, and they crash with this. Kevin, what is it like a? Man, I'm trying to remember what the actual term for it is.
It's like it's like a truck with chemicals, like liquid nitrogen or something like that.
Thank you. So they crash in this cop van and then this chemical van, and what happens is like he basically evaporates into the snow. But through these chemicals, he comes back as a snowman, and pretty much terrorizes the town.
Of course.
There is a scene. Jack Frost 2, the Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowmen. And the thing is with that is he actually goes to like the Bahamas. How does a snowman make it to the Bahamas? He does. And he's got little snowball friends with like really sharp icicle teeth that help him out.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Crazy. They were supposed to make a third one, but unfortunately the guy who played the sheriff passed away, so they stopped making them after the second one.
Yeah, he passed away in an avalanche accident.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that crazy though? Yeah, seriously, yeah. Yeah.
Unrelated to the filming?
No, unrelated.
That's crazy.
That's
The curse
insane.
of being in these movies.
Right. But completely off the wall, super raunchy. I think they're on Tubi. I believe they're on Tubi right now for free. They might be on Shudder too, I think. But they're fun. They're just fun movies. I like them both. I can't lie. I own them both in my collection too.
You would.
So we've got to see this one then, definitely. Donald, we need to just watch all these together with Maria.
I know, right? Okay, that's number 11 on the list. That was Jack Frost. Number 10 is a bit of a departure from what we're used to, but it bared mentioning just because it is a bit different. They tried to go a route that I would say, what was it? It was, what was that Halloween film with the little dude? And he has the burlap sack over his head. What was that?
Trick or treat.
Thank you. Trick or treat. Yes. Tried to go that route with like an anthology kind of based idea, and we're talking about a Christmas horror story, and this is the one with William Shatner as the DJ on the radio.
Oh, this looks really cool from
Kind
the
of
preview.
a la the Crypt Keeper, if you think about it.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing is, if you bought it from Walmart, it was a holiday Christmas story because they changed the name. I guess Christmas they weren't allowed to use, and it was a holiday a holiday horror story. My bad.
Oh,
We're allowed to
interesting.
use Christmas, I guess. So very weird, but yeah.
You know what? It was probably because the Midwest, they would have frowned upon it, and they were like, "Oh, we can't do that."
I'm trying to. I have it in my collection too. I'm trying to look to see which version I have. I know it's over here somewhere.
Oh, Enrique, no problem. Elvin says, I was so confused as a kid watching Jack Frost. I didn't know where there was two versions back then.
That's right.
I could
they
see
look
that.
the same. Those snowmen.
You're not wrong. Andrea says, LOL, renting Jack Frost was always a gamble, especially at the little mom and pop rental places.
See?
Directors has never seen this one either. And Alex says, I know the kid from Trick or Treat. I played Dungeons and Dragons with his dad. LOL. Wow.
That's so cool.
That's
I do
cool.
Art version. If you can see that, I have the holiday horror story version.
Oh, yeah, I see
there we
it.
go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at that. John,
And
look at that.
so-
What a collection.
Honestly, there's a few kind of spooky stories in this. The one with the kids out in the woods, and like I think it was like the Dark Elves or something like that. That one was kind of spooky, but I think the best one was the Santa one, where it was a throwdown of Santa Claus versus Krampus.
Yep.
And it was like a battle for the ages. And the reason why I think it was so fun is because this Santa made you believe that he could kick ass and that he was grizzled and kind of a beat up Santa, but like still held some of that respect for the idea. And the costume and effects like for Krampus were amazing. Like they poured all of their budget probably into that.
Yeah.
Because it just looks so freaking cool.
And do you
Yeah.
have William Shatner narrating the whole thing, or just he's
Yes.
in one of the stories? Okay.
He basically
So it is
narrates
kind
all
of
of
like
them.
Tales from the Crypt kind of thing with
Right.
multiple stories.
Yep,
Oh.
kind of like the Crypt Keeper. Yeah, he's on there at night. You know, he's like a slock jock, radio disc jockey or whatever, and he's talking about these horror stories and mentioning, oh, it's Christmas time, or the holiday season, it's snowing out, blah blah blah. Let's talk about these tales or whatever, and then each one kind of unfolds. And if I recall, the Santa versus Krampus is kind of a bookend one, right? It kind of starts it and then ends it, and then there's there's like 2 or 3 different stories in between that take place.
It has a really cool twist ending too that I will not give away because you have to watch it to see that part.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool though.
Yeah,
that
it is.
It's like the selling point of the movie.
Yep.
You may not have liked all of it, but you got to that point and you were like, "Oh shit, that was really cool."
Yeah.
I like the way they played that.
They did a good job with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria says, agree, the Santa versus Krampus one was fun. And Alex says, I want to watch this too. Alex, you should watch this, sir. You should watch it right after this. Not right now. Don't leave. Watch it after we're done. You got like 40 more minutes, sir. You can wait.
He's going to be too tired in Florida to keep going.
Maybe. Or maybe he's on a holiday. Celebrate. Okay. Now, this one was... we struggle with this one, whether we're going to place it higher or not, because it's so much dang fun. But it's also really cheesy, really campy. And there are better films above it on the list. So I felt like as good as this one, as fun as this one was, there are better films that might not have been as fun, but they're just as good in other ways, if not better. So we're talking about number 9 on the list. We're talking about Bill Goldberg's Santa's Sleigh.
You know what's funny? You talked about the budget on the last movie.
Uh-huh.
This one's like vice versa. All the budget went into the opening 10-minute sequence, and then the rest of it was very underwhelming.
This looks really cool. So you've seen this, right, John?
Oh yeah, that opening sequence, great.
Yes.
Who is this actor? What's his name?
It's Bill Goldberg. He's a
Goldberg.
professional wrestler.
Bill Goldberg.
Wrestler.
He's awesome. In the preview, I can already tell it's going to be amazing.
He does a really good job. In John's not wrong. That opening with the Christmas dinner and Santa coming in to kick some ass is freaking hilarious. It's so well done. It is surprisingly so well done. It's disappointing that they don't carry that throughout the entire film.
Exactly.
And that's the issue. That's why this film is so low on the list, is because they don't carry that across the entire time. It has its moments, like in the bar later and stuff like that, but it just isn't as cohesive as we would want it to be. So if they'd kept the pace with the beginning, this thing might have been number 1. Like, it might have been. Like, it would have been a contender, because that opening was that good. But unfortunately, it doesn't do that, which is why it places it at number 9, because it's still a fun film, and that opening is still pure fire.
Yes. Fran Drescher got it pretty bad in that one. She got it real bad. Man.
A nanny.
Yes. He actually met his wife on set of that movie too.
Really?
She was the strippers in the bar scene. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, he's like ho ho ho, and he grabs this girl and makes out with her in the preview.
I guess she was super adamant on not mixing, business and pleasure type of thing, but I guess she said he won her over basically, and they ended up getting married out of that.
Dang.
Isn't that funny?
I mean, hey.
Yeah, I
People
guess.
that meet on sets.
She was just after Santa's sack.
Oh, there it is. Somebody had to say it. I mean,
Maybe his sugar plums.
What's that?
She
They play
wanted
the
him to come down her chimney.
Oh God.
Oh,
Sorry. I'm done.
what's that?
There's so
Play in
many.
the Olympics at the time with what the hell is it? They skate and then they push the rock thing or whatever.
Oh
What's
yeah,
the name of that?
that's curling.
It's thank you.
Yeah.
That was the premise of this movie was curling basically. It was wait, what?
Yeah.
You didn't even know what the hell curling was at that point when you saw the movie, but then you saw it it got real popular a couple years ago. It was that's what.
There actually was a Canadian film with the guy that played the Mountie in the TV series Due South, and Leslie Nielsen was in it as well.
Oh, nice.
And it was called Men with Brooms, and it was about a curling team that was trying to get into the Olympics, if I recall.
Oh, okay.
But
So it was
it's not bad.
yeah.
It's more of a serious film. You watch, you think Leslie Nielsen's going to be in it, and it's going to be friggin' hilarious, right? Because you automatically think that, but you forget that Leslie Nielsen used to be like a serious actor.
Right before Airplane.
He dipped back in every so often for like these independent films, and he did that with this, and he's actually really good. It's a really good movie. It's worth watching if you get a chance. Director wants to know where he can watch a Christmas horror movie. It should be on Shudder, and also I believe you can purchase it at your local Walmart for super cheap. But you can also get it. I think it's on YouTube and maybe on Google as well, Google Video. Let's see. Alex says, I just realized, why doesn't Janet have a hat too? She's the only one who's hatless. Right? Jeez, Janet.
True.
Later, he says that you should have provided me with a hat for Christmas.
Santa Slay, I remember hearing about this film a few years back and always wanted to watch it and never got the opportunity. It's good, director. I think you'd enjoy it. Let's see. Elvin says, wasn't Goldberg in the NFL? I don't know. Was he?
Yeah, he was. He was on Atlanta Falcons briefly.
Oh.
Yep.
You know who he played for?
Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons.
Oh,
Yeah.
Falcons. All
Yeah.
right.
Janet just, Alex said we should provide her with a hat. So we should get her like an official Real Short Box hat. I feel like that's a bit overkill. I mean, I already have one, to be honest, but the hat was so terrible. I
could
wore
wear
it
your
once,
splattered frog hat.
and I was like, this hat's dumb, so I never wore it again. So I'm not big with the hats. Elvin says, damn, imagine Santa tackling you down. Yep, exactly. Yeah,
Big spear.
right. So this was a good one. It was a good one. That was number 9 on the list. Number 8, we're starting to dip into some really good stuff.
Yes.
Number 8, if I recall, was a Netflix original, or it went straight to Netflix. Just imagine Home Alone, but Kevin McAllister's a little freaking psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you get number 8 on the list. You better watch out. Or
And
better
from
watch
the
out.
preview, you can tell that little kid, that's his babysitter. He has a crush on her, just like in Elizabeth Shue Adventures in Babysitting, right?
Kind of, yeah. There's a tad feel of that, but it starts to go south pretty fast, Janet.
Right.
It's
well executed too. It's a well executed story.
yeah.
Yeah. This was like a hidden gem, man. This is one of those
Oh, yeah.
movies that came out and you were like, oh, damn, that was really good. Another one that has a cool twist that you want to talk about, but at the same time it's hard to because then it ruins everything. But, man, was not expecting that to happen, basically. I was like, oh,
No.
okay. And the little nod to Home Alone was cool, too.
Yeah.
We got our answer to a question from that movie.
Yep.
Big
Yeah.
time.
Yes, we did.
Which should have been Harry and Marv. We saw it.
Yeah. I mean, in Home Alone, it obviously didn't do the damage it did in this, but
Right.
it's pretty epic what happens in this, and that kid is crazy.
Yep.
And it is actually kind of a feel good movie, weirdly enough,
it's
at
true.
the ending, but boy does it get dark, and
Yeah.
it is a true holiday horror film, and it is available on Netflix. You can watch it. It's called Better Watch Out.
Yeah, and the acting's good, especially with these two characters. Great job. Great job.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, director. Yeah, that was definitely true. Nobody look at director's comment. It's a spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
It's a spoiler for those that want to watch it.
Like, anybody else think like there should have been a sequel to this, though? I really thought we were going to get one. Like,
I
quick.
thought so too.
Obviously, if they make it now, the kid's probably like 20 years old. So it's, I mean, it would still
Right.
do it, but it's, man, you know, it would have been so cool to. But he played it so well, though, for being a child actor, too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah,
He
he
was
did
really
a great
good.
job.
He was
Great
really
job.
good. And speaking of a great job, I mean, how amazing is it that we got a Christmas themed zombie musical? And we're talking about number 7 on the list, Anna and the Apocalypse. Now, any of you guys watch this?
all
I
right.
haven't
I
had a
saw
chance to
the
watch that one.
preview, and that looks awesome as well. It looks like, what is it, Shaun of the Dead?
Kind of, yeah. It does have that feel.
I think they talk about that in the preview.
Okay, so I watched this. I'm gonna be the odd man out. I watched this and I didn't like it. I need to see it again, but I just didn't like it.
Wow.
I don't know if I was
Hi,
expecting
Freak. Sorry.
kind of thing. And it kind of happened. I was like, oh, we're singing and killing zombies. Cool. I don't know if I was ready for that yet, but I'll rewatch it. I will give it another shot.
Yep. Hey, Marik, thanks for joining. Yeah, Anna and the Apocalypse. I think you should watch it again, John, because I don't know where else you're going to get this type of a film. I mean, you have the musical aspect of it. You have zombies. You have Christmas time. I think a lot of people had problems with some of the main characters don't last as long as you would like them to.
Yeah.
And it's a bit jarring, and it creates a bit of a hole in the plot, so to speak. Not a plot hole, but it just creates kind of a void in the story that you're left wondering, oh shit, well, what now? And so you just have to kind of latch on to another character, and then that character goes, and then you're like, crap. And then you stop caring because you're afraid that everybody's just going to effing die, and that's it, you know? Like, you start rooting for the goddamn giant candy cane that she uses as a weapon at some point because you think that'll last longer than some of these people. It is what it is. But as long as you go in knowing that, I feel like that's an important thing. Like, people should know that a lot of the characters in there don't last long. So keep that in mind when you're watching it. It's not a spoiler. It's a warning to prepare yourself mentally so you're not disappointed. But even with that, I saw the story and what they were doing, and I very much enjoyed it. So, and then the Apocalypse is a super fun musical horror comedy Christmas time treat that I feel like everybody should watch with their mom and dad. Tell them it's the sequel to The Grinch or something, and surprise, and just watch their faces just turn to shock. It'll be great. It'll be worth
Donald, I'm into musicals, but some people are not. Is there any vibe from the preview, like High School Musical? Will people who hate musicals not want to see it?
I don't think so. I don't think it's
okay. It's not that musical.
I don't think it's that much of a musical that it's going to ruin your good time if you don't like musicals. And I feel like if you do like musicals, then you'll still enjoy it because there are some musical aspects to it. So yeah.
Very true.
Alex says, "Boo, John off the show. How dare you?"
He doesn't like it.
And then Enrique says, "What's
promise. That?" Good. Promise.
Okay. All right. Enrique says, "Make it a drinking game." And director says, "Never seen Anna and the Apocalypse." Well, director, I guess you have something to watch. And Maria says, "Yes." So there we go. You guys have stuff to watch and things to look at. Yay. We're moving along pretty fast now. Number 6 on our list is a doozy. It's really fun. Kevin, this is the wrong picture, though.
It is?
Yeah. Yeah, this is, the picture you gave me is from A Christmas Horror Story.
Sure to have it backwards, perhaps?
No. No, the Christmas Horror Story you gave me is the Santa that is fighting this dude. So I'm not going to post the picture. But number 6 on the list is Krampus.
Because there's a Krampus in A Christmas Horror Story also, no?
Yes.
There are a ton of Krampus movies out there. After this one came,
right,
everybody did it.
But here, John, well, you probably can't see it, but
unfortunately,
you'll be able to go back in and watch it later and be like, oh yeah. But this is the Krampus that Kevin sent me. But this is the one from A Christmas Horror Story. This isn't the other Krampus. But anyway, number 6 is Krampus, the Universal version, written and directed by the same guy that did Trick or Treat.
Here you go.
Yeah, that's the Krampus right there. That's the one we're talking about. That one was a lot of fun. Krampus, geez, it's a story about a family that's just terrible to each other. And how Krampus comes to visit them to teach them a lesson. And how their whole town becomes under siege by not only a snowstorm that paralyzes the entire town, but by this demonic Krampus that is trying to get into their home to steal their children and their family and to teach them all a lesson in humility and that they should have appreciated what they had. It's about a little... What's that?
Felt bad for the poor kid. Like, he still believed in Santa. Everybody messed with him about it.
Yeah.
You know, the only one that was nice to him was the grandma, basically. That was it. Everybody else was too busy. They were just too much of an asshole. They didn't want to be bothered.
Now,
it was
John,
kind of...
let me ask you something, John. Were you bothered by the grandma basically almost only ever speaking German and only knowing really German?
Somewhat.
Yeah, me too.
I don't mind a good subtitled movie. I don't always want to read my movie, though. I'd rather watch it sometimes, you know.
Right.
But like, she served the purpose of knowing everything about it, obviously. So she was that character. Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like she could have just had a German accent and been like, "What is Krampus? Yeah. What do we do?" You know, or some. That's a terrible German accent, but you get what I'm saying.
I agree. I think that'd have been better.
Is Krampus originally a German thing or some other country? The story of Krampus?
I think it's Scandinavian.
Somewhere.
I could be
Norway.
wrong, but I think it might have originated in Germany, but it's also very, very strong story-wise in Norway and Switzerland and things like that. So I feel like it's kind of shared. So I don't know 100%. I know they had the festivals in Germany. Krampusnacht or whatever it is called, I believe. Maria would know. She actually went, if I recall, to the festival where they take the brooms and they
slap
put it with them and stuff.
Krampus is from Tyrol, and Tyrol is which country? To let us know.
It's probably Scandinavian. It sounds Scandinavian.
Germany, says Director Multiverse.
Let's see. Maria says, "Yeah, I love this movie. Watch it every year." Enrique says, "I love Krampus." Thanks. Alex Banquita says, "I want to watch it." Alex Banquita should watch this immediately. Elvin says, "I know American Dad made an episode about Krampus." Yes, they did, and it's supposed to be great. And I'm wondering, Elvin, if Bucky's Books worked on that or not. I don't know, but it would be fun. I should ask him about it. Maria says it is available on Peacock, so you can watch it on Peacock. If you guys have the Peacock app, you can watch Krampus on there. Sammy popped on. Hello, Sammy. Says,
Sammy.
Not my normal holiday movie, but it was pretty good. And let's see. Director says, A Night at the Roxbury. Alex says, good movie too. Krampus is from Tyrol. And Elvin says, origin of Krampus is Germany. Germany, says Sammy. Based off of Google, says Elvin. And Maria says, which is southern part of Germany, Austria, and Italy. Got it. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. So, anything that you guys want to mention about Krampus, about the movie, what you liked besides the Jack in the Box, which is amazing and like the creepiest part of the whole thing?
That's some really cool like creatures. You had the evil gingerbread cookies, and like, man, just like, again, like you said, it's the same guy who brought us Trick or Treat, which I don't know if a lot of people know this, but he's actually from Warren, Ohio. I don't know if you guys know that.
That's right.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah. Small little and I can't remember the entire name of what they called it in Trick or Treat, but it was like Warrenville something Ohio in Trick or Treat, so it was a nice little nod to Warren. But no, I thought it was great, man. I love it's super dark. Not much happiness happens in this movie at all. Like once it gets going, man. Mm-hmm. And you kind of like don't feel bad for the main characters in a way because they're such assholes. You really just latch on to the kid and the grandma pretty much, except for the fact that she subtitles everything. But other than that, you latch on to those two characters. Everyone else, you just don't really feel bad for. You can't because they're all jerks, you know? So it's like they kind of get what they deserve type of thing. Again, with the ending, though, that I was not expecting that. And I'm not really sure. I don't want to give it away to people that haven't seen it, but at the same time, you're kind of left like you have to Google that and say, okay, well, Krampus ending explained because what exactly? So how do you take the ending of that without, I guess, spoiling and giving it all away? But how do you take the ending of that?
I took the ending that they're basically part of his world now.
See, I thought so too. So are they left to basically like live out that same thing all the time now, or are they still to the point where if they fuck up, he's coming back to worse? Like I was
No,
kind of
I
uncertain.
think they're kind of trapped. I feel like it's
Okay.
like they're stuck within that area because they couldn't remember, like the whole town got frozen, and I
Yeah.
feel like they can't go beyond that. So I feel like that's it for them. Like they messed up too much, and now that's their punishment, and that's where they're at.
So kind of like you thought you woke up to Christmas morning and everything was nice and everything was back to
Right.
normal, and then you got that bell and it was like, haha, guess what? No, I
Right.
get it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, I mean that was my understanding, but that doesn't make it right. I think it's open to interpretation, which is why they did it that
Yeah.
way. He left it kind of open ended, so everybody can kind of come up with their own idea.
Now there's a different cut out there too. Is there a different ending? Do you know of? Because there's a different cut.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
See, I haven't seen.
Alex says, shameless plug before I forget, comic I worked on called Scary Christmas 3 is coming out soon. My story
nice.
in it is I saw Daddy killing Santa Claus. Ooh, creepy, Alex. That's awesome.
Wow. Wow.
So keep an eye out. Go to your local comic shop in a week or two and go and ask for a comic called Scary Christmas 3 and see if they don't have it, if they can order it for you. Maria says, "Yeah, I love this movie. Watch it every year." Oh, that's awesome. And let's see. Elvin says it's traditional to send out Krampus greeting cards in Austria and parts in Germany. Elvin, it is not traditional to send them here. I sent one to my sister and she threw it in the trash because she thought it was the devil. She thought I had turned to Satan and had sent her a demonic card. I'm not even joking.
Nice.
And I was like, "Why did you throw it in the trash? It's just Krampus. It's like an old folklore, a tale." And she's like, "No, it was you trying to." Yeah, it was. She's being silly. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but still, it's funny.
She's in trouble with Krampus.
She might be now. But yeah, some people actually, not just her, but some people actually were not happy that I sent them Krampus cards. Oddly enough.
I'm all for it, man. You can send me one. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
If I have any left, I might still have a few left.
Wait a minute. You don't mess with a Ouija board with just like a Krampus card?
That's a big
Yes.
difference, dude.
Yeah.
Not communing with the spirits.
I want to be in good graces with Krampus. Okay.
Before we jump into like the top 5, though, can I mention one thing that I love? That's not on the list, obviously, but
Yeah.
the Tales from the Crypt episode and All Through the House. Do you guys remember that one?
Now, are we talking about
do
from
remember that.
the series, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was based off the movie from the 70s.
Right.
It's based on that story, but I love the one from the series, though.
I love the one from the series. We watched it last night, Maria and I.
I love it. Dude, Larry Drake played the hell out of that Santa
It's
Claus.
fantastic. She hasn't watched it. Maria hadn't watched it since she was like 19, I think, or something like that. And so it was really good because it was like her rediscovering it. And I watch it pretty much every year. It's like a holiday treat for me. So it was great getting to see her reaction and also revisiting an old friend, because it is super cool. Like the lady hams it up like so hard.
Oh.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So basically, it's kind of like that old Donald Duck cartoon. Remember when they were like, attention everybody, a giant gorilla has escaped from the zoo. Lock your doors. And it's like Huey, Dewey, and Louie trying to scare him dressed as an ape. And then he's like, "Oh, you're not fooling me again," but it's the actual killer ape that's escaped the zoo. And then it's like all about him getting inside the house and chasing Donald Duck around and stuff. My favorite Disney short of all time. That's my favorite one. And this is very much like that.
Yeah.
She basically does something terrible. And while she's finishing up, the radio pops on and says that a psychopath has escaped an institution, has killed 3 or 4 women along the way, and stole a Santa costume from one of their houses, and is now on the loose dressed as Santa and killing any woman that he sees at will. And guess what? He's coming to her house, and things are going to get nuts. Chestnuts.
Dude, I think that's what I love about like Tales from the Crypt. There wasn't a very good there was no happy endings all the time. It was just the bad guys usually won. That was the cool part about the show.
Yeah,
you had your decent endings and stuff, but
it was come up. It was all about lessons being learned, which is what Kevin and I have talked about over and over with the comics. They were very graphic and gory and stuff like that. Yes, but the covers were just there for shock value. When you opened the book and you read through the entire story, it was there to teach you a lesson that you don't do these things or something bad is going to happen to you.
Classical, never judge a book by its cover.
Right. So those same people, would enjoy the Krampus movie probably, which is the same basic thing. It's like he's there to teach them a lesson. So it's funny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a great short. It's like 25 minutes or something like that. And I believe it's the third episode on season 1, second or third.
It's very fun of that season for sure.
And Larry Drake is amazing in that. God rest his soul. He's spectacular. And the lady's spectacular. And the dude that makes an appearance at the beginning is also fantastic. He's a very good character actor. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Alex says, I want a Krampus card too.
See?
And I want to read Krampus stories. Director says, I remember calling my brother with a voice change, just like Ghostface. Maria says, Krampusstein or Krampus carton were popular in the U.S. in 1920s-ish. That's where a lot of those fun designs are from. Oh, cool. Alex says, I love HBO's Tales from the Crypt. Such a good series, says Gio. Thanks for joining, Gio.
What's up, Gio?
Director says that episode of Tales from the Crypt, All Through the House, was directed by Robert Zemeckis. Yes, you're right. It was. And it was written by Fred Decker, too, of, was it? Monster Squad fame. Yeah, and Night of the Creeps.
Yes.
Let's see. He worked a lot with Shane Black, too, from Lethal Weapon fame.
Have you guys ever episode on Tales from the Crypt episodes? Have you ever done that before?
Done what?
Like a list of like your favorite Tales from the Crypt episodes?
No,
we
haven't done that, but we should.
Next year we will.
I'd love to be a part of that because there's so many good ones.
We should do a watch party type thing too. I think that would be great.
Be cool. Yeah.
Can I answer Maria too? She says, yay, she could show me the cool cards on the Krampus. That would be awesome. I would love that.
Yeah. Elvin says Krampus does have a weakness. If given a piece of fruit, typically an apple or an orange, by a child, he will sit down to eat the gift, sharing it with whomever is there and engage in polite conversation. Then leave afterwards.
Wait, is that legit?
According to Elvin.
Or
I mean, he's been looking up his lore. He's been doing research, so
I've never
probably
heard that.
for college because Elvin goes to school and he studies. Like instead of going out and having fun, he sits at home and studies.
We've all done that in the past. We also went to college.
Yes.
Never heard that. That's actually different.
Everybody. I mean,
You didn't miss much, John.
Yeah.
See, Kevin, I'll mess with Krampus, but if you give an orange or an apple to an Ouija board, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They'll suck you in and take your soul. It's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
So is it the Ouija board or the Lament configuration box? You had to choose between the two.
Oh man, I'm opening the box. Then I'm Pinhead's coming to visit. I got to do what I got to do.
Wow.
I
am not hanging out with you.
Me and Uncle Frank be stuck trying to get back, man. I don't know what else to tell you.
Okay. Number 5, guys. Let's do this. This is our top 5. We are kicking it off with another Krampus-style story. But this one is from Norway or Switzerland. Finland.
Yeah.
And it is called Rare Exports. Now,
it's cool.
Rare Exports came out in 2010.
Who booed me out of the room because I'm about to get booed again? I saw this maybe 2 years ago. And everybody was like, it's a great Christmas movie. You're going to love it. And I was like, very underwhelmed. I just didn't. I couldn't get behind it.
No.
Oh, my God.
Was it too action-packed and not enough story, do you think? It
wasn't even so much action-packed as it was more just like, I felt like it was boring. I know I'm getting booed out of the room. It's okay.
Yeah. The basic premise is a young boy and his friend think a secret mountain drilling project near their home in northern Finland has uncovered the tomb of Santa Claus. However, this is a monstrous, evil Santa, much unlike the cheery Saint Nick of legend. And when his father captures a feral old man accidentally in his wolf trap, the man may hold the key to why the reindeer are being slaughtered and children are disappearing.
Can I ask a question too, Donald? Is
Sure.
this the preview where they said that Santa is Satan's only son? That might have been a different movie.
It might have been a different movie.
That might have been the Santa's Sleigh or something like that. But they were like, one of these stories.
Yeah, I think it's one of those other ones. This one, when they say anything, it's not in English for starters, but also it's really cool seeing like these demonic elves roaming around in the forest and stuff,
they're like fighting people or something.
Right, and then the children disappearing, and they're being offered up as like a food source. So basically, you know, like a wasp will kill all kinds, or like not kill, but they'll like they just numb their bodies of like spiders and things like that, and they'll drop it down inside their nest to feed their younglings when they go to hatch. It's very similar because you see this giant like Santa's like ice thing that they're trying to thaw to unleash this demonic evil Santa, aka kind of a Krampus type thing, that's going to just teach everybody a lesson. And it's up to the town folk, the kids, to convince their parents to stop this demonic beast from being awoken. And it's really good. I feel it's really good. It's very moody. It's really shot really well. It's just dark and gritty and very enjoyable, I felt. There's not a lot of fun to it, but a lot of fright and a lot of creep factor. So if you like that kind of stuff, Rare Exports is great. You can also, I believe they have it dubbed, so you can watch the dub version if you wish. But it's great. It's available, if I recall, it's available on Hulu. You can watch it on Tubi. I think it's available for free on Pluto also, so you can check it out there. Really quickly. Boo John again, says Alex.
I knew it.
Haven't seen this yet, says Sammy. John, you're in trouble.
I know, man.
Maria says John hates subtitles. Rare Exports is a treasure. Alex says it's a rare treasure. Director says Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. Never heard of this one. I will watch it. Definitely do. Exported from Finland. Director says Mexico's greatest export. Imagine lighting Krampus up with a flamethrower. Yeah, exactly like that. You're trying to thaw him out. Yeah, or just destroy him. But that's number 5. We won't dwell on that. We'll move on to number 4 for time's sake. Number 4 on the list. Wow, this is a classic if I've ever seen one. Janet.
Yes.
Yay!
Number 4 with a bullet. Take it away. We're talking Gremlins.
Love Gremlins. Oh my god. I mean, I love them. I forget who the actor is who plays Michael, but I just never thought it was scary. Okay, so obviously this boy, Michael's a teenager. He only lives with his mom. And then he goes to this pet store, right? And adopts this super cute. Does he adopt it or was it a Christmas gift to him?
His dad.
It's not so much as a pet
Yeah.
store. It's like a rare
Mogwai.
antique store.
Rare antique store.
And it's like in the
And
back,
there's this
and he hears
guy
it.
from China,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And he introduces it to him. And
Ancient
then
Chinese secret.
adopts him. And he was like, you can't feed him after midnight and you can't get him wet. Don't do it, whatever I say. Well, as soon as the little Mogwai gets wet, all of these gremlins spur off of him, these monsters. And, you know, I think, looking back, I would have been so afraid of Spike, the main gremlin, but I never saw it as a horror movie. I thought he was so cute, especially when he gets in the little Barbie car and puts on his little Rambo headband and is driving around. I also idolized Phoebe Cates. I loved her in, what is it? What About Fred or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Drop Dead Fred.
Drop
Yeah.
Dead Fred. So I just really loved her. She had so much charisma. I love that she's the girlfriend.
Phoebe
But
Cates? Was it the same
Phoebe
girl?
Was
Was it the
was
same
just-
girl from...
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, yes.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
the movie you should watch with her in it.
But
Well, this year's
girls
the
are not
40th
into that
anniversary.
particular
I'm just saying.
part of her role for that. But she was amazing. And was she in Gremlins 2? Was she?
Yes.
You
She
have
was.
to really keep abreast
They
of
they
the
Mhm.
story in
ah,
Fast Times.
Anyways, besides
She's
all of
sicko.
that, she had good charisma. But the character, the boy, his name was Danny. I kept thinking it was Michael.
Let me go right to the points. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is
Oh,
great.
gosh.
and she's excellent in it. Yes.
Anyways, what do you guys love about Gremlins? How cute the little.
Well, Gizmo was basically the Grogu of the 1980s. Just
he
an adorable character you couldn't get enough of. I think it had like a little Gizmo toy or something like that.
You always felt bad that those Gremlins were trying to rip him apart.
I know.
So but he was a badass when he turned into little Rambo.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I actually wish Michael Myers really existed.
It's that classic lesson that Donald was saying that these movies try to teach you. They tell you nicely, don't get him wet, don't feed him after midnight, don't expose him to light.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they do within having him for 2 seconds? They take a picture of him, there's the light, then you feed him, and then he gets wet, and it's like, Dan, you just couldn't listen to 3 simple rules.
No.
Then you have a bunch of little mogwais, you think, oh, look how cute they are. And then they eat after midnight, and then they turn into something completely different.
Yeah, they're just like mischievous ones.
And that's why we can't have nice things, because people mess up like this.
Yep.
This is why.
Yep, that's why we had a sequel.
I did like that, though, because kids do a lot. They make younger kids than that character make a lot of those mistakes. So as a kid, I thought, well, I would probably make those mistakes, too.
Yeah.
I think I'd be scared shitless, too, because if you see the movie, you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. And Mrs. Deagle, I think her name was, man, she was an asshole character.
Yeah.
Talk about a
Holy she got what was coming to her. She got what was coming to her.
Oh, 100%. Her death was great. And she deserved every bit of it.
Yep. It's a great story. Zach Galligan played Billy. Corey Feldman was Pete. Phoebe Cates was Kate.
Right.
And Dick Miller was in it, of course, because this is a Joe Dante directed film, and Joe Dante put Dick Miller in everything he did, which was cool because Dick Miller was great. HBO Max, it's available now on there. It's also available on Amazon Prime. You can purchase it on Google Play or YouTube as well for $3.99 if you would like. Came out in '84 to much love. It did really well. It's got an 86% rating on Rotten Tomato currently, so it's still very much loved. It made at the box office at the time in 1984 over $200 million. So it was a huge hit for them, which spawned the sequel, Gremlins 2, of course, the next batch.
I have a fast fact that you guys might already know. So I was listening to Leonard Maltin talking on a podcast, being interviewed, and he gave it bad reviews. And so that's why they put him in Gremlins 2 to be the reviewer of the film. And he did it as sort of as an apology and to say, I have a sense of humor. So he was the reviewer watching the film, in Gremlins 2, the movie within a movie.
Oh, that's cool.
So he goes, yeah, now that I look back, it's a classic and I really like it. And he actually, I don't even think he had a good review of Back to the Future, but now he loves that too.
Oh, that guy.
They hate everything.
Yeah. A few comments there. Marique says, never gets old. Sammy says, Gizmo. Maria says, love. Director says, I love Gizmo. Sammy says, Zach Galligan. Yes, that was his name. Alex says, hate to say it, but I'm starting to get tired. Wake up, Alex. Stop this nonsense. Stop it right now.
I was yawning because the sun goes down so fast, too.
Gerald says, it has the greatest tragic story that's completely dismissed as soon as she's done telling it. And Director of the Multiverse says, did anyone see the Mountain Dew commercial with Zach Galligan? No, I don't. Maybe I did. I just don't remember. Was it back then? Or had to be, right? Yeah, right? It was back then. I'm in the kitchen right now. Maybe I'll fall asleep on the table. Elvin says, Walmart is selling Gremlins dolls. That's cool.
They are.
Cute.
Not going to lie, they're cute as hell. And it sings that little song that he sings. Oh, dude.
Oh,
so
that's adorable.
They
okay,
are.
Number 3. This one, nobody's going to know. Probably nobody. John, maybe you've seen it?
Oh, yeah.
I watched it. Okay. I watched it earlier today. It's pretty disturbing.
This one. Wow, look at that picture. This one, number 3 with a bullet, is Treevenge.
Yes.
Looks like a cool preview.
You might ask, why does this rank so high on the list? Well, it's Christmas trees that are just tired of your shit. And they have globally decided to enact revenge upon the human species and everything that they've done to them. And so there's trees electrocuting people. There's trees strangling people with tinsel. There's trees
murdering children,
pushing people into wood choppers and things. There's just trees everywhere enacting ultimate violence upon people. And it is so much fun to see how creative they got with this film. John, what's some of your favorite parts about this?
For me, I like the you were talking about being strangled. I love how they shot that to where they just wrapped that around and then shot it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it just looked cool. There's one that came out this past year called The Killing Tree, which is kind of trying to be similar.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
Except for the only difference is it's a woman who like brings back her husband's soul inside of a Christmas tree. So like the Christmas tree has legs. I don't know if it's supposed to, but it has legs and it like runs and talks shit and kills people and stuff. So I think they took a little bit of that from Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it would have been a full movie though, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think they could have pulled a full movie out of that.
Absolutely. This is a 2008 short horror film. This is the only short that's on the list. It's that good. That's why it deserves to be number 3 and be so high up on the list. It was directed by Jason Eisner, and produced by Rob Cottrell. I believe it was Canadian production.
Yes.
So good.
Did they ever make
a Canuck movie?
I don't remember them doing a sequel to it, no, but it's possible.
So I know they.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was like, I heard they had talked about it, but I didn't know if it ever happened.
Yeah, I don't think they did. It's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun of Christmas trees just going bonkers, badass, like crazy. Director says Revenge, never heard of it. Maria says yes. Sammy says, what is that? Alex says, wow, I need to watch this. Title alone is amazing. Yes, it is amazing. It is available to watch pretty much on I
think it's YouTube.
YouTube is about it, to be honest. It's really not easy to find. So you can find like an okay copy on YouTube. There are also Reddit subthreads where you can find copies floating around also. And can snag those.
Copy of it?
What's that?
Do they actually have a physical copy of it that you can buy?
I don't believe so. And if they did, it was a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah. Marik says, reason why I do not get a live tree every year.
That's so funny, Marie.
Enrique says, I will watch this. Maria says, I watched The Killing Tree, and it made me just want to watch Revenge. It only had like maybe 25 minutes of solid tree action, and the rest is sorority girls talking. Revenge, on the other hand, nonstop fun. Director says, this one is for John, who gets up and walked away from 6 shots. You know who I'm talking about.
But no one else than Michael Myers. I mean, hey, that's the man, right?
Elvin says, is Poison Ivy in this movie? No, but I believe Swamp Thing might be.
Haha.
Yes. So Revenge is number 3 on the list. Great film, a lot of fun, nice short, highly recommend it. You can find it on YouTube. Number 2 on the list. Now, this is where it gets a little bit fun. Let's just say, like the fun intensifies. And I feel like we put this one over the first one because a lot, if I recall, of the first one is in the second one.
Yeah, it's like 75% of part 1's in part 2.
Right, and we're talking about Garbage Day.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, YouTube search Garbage Day, ! And you will find this scene. It's fantastic. We are talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Number 2 with a bullet.
I love from the preview how super 80s it looks. Like it just, what does it make you think of? Like it makes you think of Cujo. It also makes you think of the 70s, like The Omen, because there's that nun and she's beating him as a kid. And then it's neat to see that he's getting revenge on this nun.
Yeah, Mother Superior. Yeah, he's thinking of Mother Superior.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people wish they got revenge on the nuns that hit them with rulers. I hear a lot of horror stories from these Catholic schools.
So when Kevin sent me this list earlier, I was sad immediately, right? I'm reading up and I was like, wait a minute. Number 2 over the first one?
That explains what we're up to.
It was
now that I've seen some of both of them, I think this should be number 1.
I love Silent Night, Deadly Night. That is my Christmas Eve ritual. I watch it every Christmas Eve. I have been doing that for years because I absolutely love that movie. The second one, to me, obviously, the biggest takeaway from that is exactly what you said, Garbage Day. You can say that and everybody's like, oh, yeah, okay, I know what that's from, right? Man, I was bummed to see 2 over the first one, but I get it. When he explained it to me, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely because the second one is a lot of retread from the first. Only there's a lot of fun involved in that one. I felt that was missing just a little bit from the first. So I do think that Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 deserves to be on this list as the second spot. It doesn't mean one's not good. It's definitely a good film, and if you get a chance to check it out, definitely do. We have a few comments. Maria says, garbage day, naughty. And Sammy says, keep hearing about these movies, but still have yet to watch. Elvin says, just watch the garbage day scene and it's hilarious. Haha. Director says, I haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night or the sequels yet. Don't judge me. And Alex says, I went to a Catholic school till I was in college. Nuns still haunt me at times. I bet the filmmaker went to a Catholic school. LOL.
Probably.
That's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Now, this is going to take us to number one here in a second. Right?
I bet they did.
There's like, what, 7 or 8 of these now, I think, altogether? I think.
5. I think there were only 5.
5? Okay, because I know
because last one was like the Toy Maker with Mickey Rooney, I believe.
Yeah. Which was weird as hell because originally, when the first one came out, Mickey Rooney hated it. But I guess the money was talking at that point, and he was like, I guess
man. When the paycheck is brought in front of you, you'll do it.
Because a lot of people hated that movie. Like, it got protested. It got pulled from the theaters. It was bad, man.
Children were scared.
So you guys have made 5 Silent Night, Deadly Nights?
Yes.
And the thing, like, the first 3, I think, are basically the story. Yeah. And after that, it just goes batshit crazy. And they pretty much just used the name and just made whatever they wanted with that name, basically. But I don't know. For me, like, I thought it was, when you have movies like that, it makes you want to, like, you wish you could go back in time and watch them when everybody hated them and stuff. Like I would love to go, and like I used to say that people threw up watching The Exorcist. I would love to go back in time and go to the theater and watch that with those people, Or same thing with Halloween. Like, people watch Halloween, they were scared to death of it. I would love to go back in time and do that. So I would love to go back and see how these people reacted to this movie, because A Killer Santa isn't really that terrible. I understand maybe for the kids. I get that part. I understand that. But oh no.
Oh, to Donald.
Hello, kitties. No. I'm back to spread Christmas cheer. And I'm here to tell you that number 1 with a bullet is something I hope to spread all over the land. And that is A Black Christmas. Something dark and disturbing, just like me, the Grinch.
All right, so wait a minute. I want to know what happened to Donald, though. Where'd he go? What happened? What'd you do to him?
Taking a nap.
Oh.
That's messed up.
Nap.
Yes, a nap.
Uh-oh.
So, how do you feel about Black Christmas, the movie, then, Grinch?
Oh, I love it. It's so disturbing and dark, just like my heart.
And it's such a great mystery throughout the movie.
Yes.
We don't want to give anything away, but you got to check it out. It's a classic movie.
They say that, like, this was considered one of the first, like, tentacle slasher films.
Yes.
In a way.
Chainsaw actually came out the same year.
Yeah. So then you have this movie that even, like, John Carpenter's admitted to the fact that he used a lot of the elements for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about it is, you look at the director, Bob Clark, right? So you have Black Christmas, which is your horror movie, straight horror movie. But he also directed another Christmas favorite, A Christmas Story.
Christmas Story, yep.
Different movies on the holiday spectrum there, but this movie to me, it's so cool because, like you said, there's that mystery. There's a little bit of twist to it. There's a mystery there. It's got a little bit of, without giving a lot away, a little bit of a When a Stranger Calls in it too, a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, man. Now, you want to talk about people complaining about a movie. Some of the stuff he was saying when he made those phone calls, wow.
Yep,
I was not expecting that.
Especially from back then, almost 50 years ago. That
was like pushing it. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't do that. There is 2 remakes, unfortunately. The 2006 version wasn't, I like that one to an extent. But if you look at the 2019 version, it was one of those classic things of, let's use the name Black Christmas and make a movie. It was awful. So if you watch Black Christmas, watch 74, and you can watch 2006. It's not terrible. But Yeah, this movie's. I don't know, man. It's kind of a slow burn, but it's not dull.
It's worth it. But it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, it starts
And-
off with a bang, basically.
So
And
the
John
number
Saxon.
one rating one, though, you guys, is from 1974.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, the classic.
I
And
got
also,
mixed up.
Margot Kidder is in it, the late Margot Kidder, as well as the great late John Saxon,
Yeah.
who would later be in another
Oh.
classic horror movie 10 years later, 1984's Nightmare on Elm
Nightmare
Street.
Before Christmas. Nightmare
Margot
Before
Kidder
Christmas?
played the hell out of her. She did.
No,
What was that,
Grinch was
Grinch?
trying to
it's
say
not
something.
a Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
Well, it was a nightmare after Christmas.
I hope to bring that to everybody.
You know what? How would you rank that movie? How would you rank if you could throw it in this? How would you rank Nightmare Before Christmas?
It would be pretty high up for me, considering how lovely it is that he wanted to bring all those dead things to the children. I find that very joyful.
Now, do you consider it more a Christmas movie or more of a Halloween movie, or both?
It's both. It splits the line.
See, now we agree. We agree on something.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried. Oh. And John.
But this photo that we have is also from 2006, not 1974.
What's that?
That photo is from the 2006 Black Christmas, isn't it?
The one that's
No,
on the
this-
screen?
Margaret,
That's on the
I can see
screen?
the side of her face
It
there.
is from the 70s? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The one Kevin is, yeah. I can't
Oh.
see the other one.
All right. I need
It's the same photo. It's the same photo. Yeah, you see Margot Kidder, a very young Margot Kidder before she did Superman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Olivia Hussey. Oh, yeah, this is from 74.
That's so
I did
cool.
like what's her name? And I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but she played the house mother in the remake. I like how they brought her back from that one. I thought that was kind of cool. I love when they do stuff like that. When you make a remake and you do a cameo from somebody,
That's cool.
From the-
That's always good.
I think you identify with it more and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool because now you're seeing somebody that you're used to from the original, you know? To me, it always makes it more fun. Wow. What happened to you?
I don't know.
Got overheated.
I feel a little woozy.
Said you were taking a nap.
Yeah,
He got knocked out.
I see. Did he use
my drink
chloroform?
tasted funny. I don't know.
Did he use chloroform on you?
I have no idea. I feel like I was taking a long nap or something. But I'm back. Don't worry. I'm back.
You missed the number one movie, though.
Did I? What
You
was
missed
it? Oh,
Black
I
Christmas.
see it. It's Black Christmas.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
Have
like that
you
one.
Seen this, Donald?
No. I like
You
it
haven't.
though.
And you love Lois
Yes.
Lane.
No, I haven't. I've never seen it ever
Wow.
in my
You gotta
life.
watch it. You have to watch it. You have to watch it.
Maybe there was
It's a
too
good-
much eggnog involved, Enrique. I don't know. It's possible. Let's read some messages. Donald, did you take your meds this morning? No, I actually didn't. What movie was the first to use the point of view of a killer?
Tom was what it was called from, like, I want to say, like,
60s, in the 60s, yeah.
Alex says he's never heard of this one, but he'll check it out.
Alex, you must check it out. It's really good.
Oh,
Just like Better Watch Out. Another good one you gotta watch
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah. So there are a lot of great choices. In fact, I thought we were going to have trouble with making a list of top choices, and then I was like, holy crap, there's so many horror films, Christmas horror
More
films.
than I ever thought.
Particularly with Santa involved, there's a ton
Oh, yeah.
of horror films with Santa involved.
It's true.
I
Really
was shocked.
illuminating, yeah.
But that's like a whole form of torture porn, really. It's Santa tortures people, kind of a thing. So it was quite surprising. But yeah. So guys, this is our last episode
2022.
2022.
of the year, and I feel like
No, wait, don't drink that. He might have put something in there. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. The Grinch drugged you.
Oh, don't do that.
it's good.
Oh, no.
It's
Oh,
the
no.
meds he meant to take this morning.
I got to ask the question, since we're so close to Christmas, we're good. Can we kind of just tone it down for a second? What would you guys think would be, in your eyes, the person who played the best Santa Claus in any movie? You guys have a suggestion
Ooh.
on that?
Oh,
Okay, yeah. Miracle on 34th Street with, what's her name? Natalie?
The original Miracle on 34th
Yeah,
Street?
the original Miracle on 34th Street. I love that guy.
He was good. I agree.
And he spoke all those different languages to the little kids that sat on his lap. And he could do sign language.
Okay, so I would say if it was me, it's Jim Broadbent from the 2014 film Get Santa.
Okay, that's one you don't hear a lot. Wow, that's cool.
That's
all right.
It's fantastic. He does such a great job. And I'm not saying there's not other great Santa Clauses throughout time.
Right.
I mean, obviously there's some really great ones. Some people in the chat, if you want to throw out some of your favorite Santas, I would love to hear it as well.
I hope I'm going to say his name right. David Huddleston from Santa Claus the movie. I thought he was great, and he doesn't get a lot of great either.
Yeah,
but I thought he was great.
Cool.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. He did a really good job too. Yeah.
Okay.
Alex says Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way. Director of the Multiverse says Miracle on 34th Street. That's my mom's favorite Christmas movie. Yeah, that's nice.
That's so sweet. I love that one.
And Marique says it is now Deadly Night.
The Santa Claus in there.
All right.
I like
nice.
Billy.
Yeah.
It was nice, all of our, viewers and comments.
Yeah, and I just really want to take a moment really quick. Maria says Dave Harbar kind of crushed it in the new one, Violent Night. You're not wrong. He did a fantastic job.
I need to
If you haven't
see
seen Violent Night, it is really worth seeing.
Okay.
Definitely.
Is it line horror or action or both?
No. Okay, it's basically Die Hard, but replace John McClane with Santa Claus.
Oh, all right. That's cool though.
Yeah,
I'm down.
100%. Okay. That's what it is. Yeah.
Nice.
It's fun. Marique says it's great. She liked it too. So really quickly, I just want to tell everybody before we close this out. I want to take the time to thank you for watching our little podcast live show and being a part of this every week, and when we take time off, coming back and being a part of it. And for those of you that missed it tonight and that watch it later, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But if you don't watch it later, then you can go to hell.
What?
You're an awful person.
What?
And we hate you.
Whoa!
And we wish nothing but bad things for you.
Speak for yourself.
Kevin told me to read this. I'm reading it. It's in his writing.
No, it's not.
I have it on a sheet of paper.
Show the writing.
Right in front of me.
Show the evidence. Show the evidence.
Kevin, I'm not going to do that. That's not nice.
Of course not. Of course
Your spelling is atrocious, and I don't want to embarrass you.
Wow. Now, people that know me know I would never do something like that.
Oh, what? Okay, fine. Let me restart this. I just want to take the time here in this holiday season to thank everybody, even those of you ungrateful bastards that don't take the time to ever watch our podcast. And we wish you all a really happy holiday season, even though you ignore us and you don't think anything about us this year. When you're eating your dinner, I hope you don't choke. I really do. I hope it's delicious. I hope you don't find anything in it that was like, I don't know, like a piece of metal or something that wasn't supposed to be in your ham or your turkey, and you just have a miserable time. I hope that doesn't happen. But what I do hope is that you enjoy yourself. I do hope that you enjoy this holiday season. I do hope that you come back and you watch us and you love us and you see the new revamped live show that we're doing and you're amazed by it and you tell all your friends and you share it with your family and you tell everybody how much you love the Real Short Box podcast and you take your presents that you were just given and you wrap them and you bring them to us and you give them to us as gifts for such an amazing show that we've provided for you through all these years of live podcast shows that we have done. Everything. Kevin, tell them everything we've done for you. It's all for you. For you. We give everything. Kevin has slit his wrists over this podcast. He has given everything. He has given every ounce of his life for this show. I just want you to know that we love you, and we want you to be happy, and we wish you a very merry holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy all of the holidays, any of the little tiny ones that I don't even know, happy that too. And thank you for tuning in and being a part of the Real Short Box. And thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Fast Hot Sauce. Thanks to Splattered Frog. Thanks to everyone, and to everyone, a great night.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thanks, Janet. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
And
John also put his blood, sweat, and tears into all of these episodes.
No, I'm just happy to be here.
and if we don't see you, we'll see you next year at the silent, deadly, frosty, festive, but always generous comic book shop.
And one more thing before we go. A happy holiday to everyone. And we wish you all a very, very Merry New Year. And thank you for being a part of this show. And thank you for being on. John, thank you. Janet, thank you. Kevin, thank you for putting up with me for so long with these crazy rants. I know it's not normal. I know I'm not normal. I get it.
Oh, no.
But I thank you guys for putting up with me. It's like
last episode
dealing with a child with head trauma. I understand that, but I want to say thank you, and thank you to our audience for sticking with us and sticking with me. We appreciate it, and we will see you next year with our brand new rebranded live show. And if we don't, again, Kevin, see them out and about anytime soon. Say it one more time, once more with feeling.
We will see you in the silent, deadly, frosty, cold-blooded, but always gracious comic book shop. 2023